Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Teacher Nivs, Dr. Joe's reading writing class. If you can hear me clearly, can I get a 47 in the chat? All right, let's see. I got a new monitor set up, so I gotta adjust things a little bit here. Okay. Mostly. Oh wait, no, that's everyone. Okay, awesome. All right, let's get into it. Um, our book of the day, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lack. By Rebecca Skloot. Weird name. Okay, I actually no, sorry. I shouldn't say weird name. Interesting name. There's no such thing as a weird name. Okay. Can I get a volunteer reader?
I'll read this, I guess, because no one's
Okay.
volunteering.
Jeffrey, go for it.
Also, there is such thing as a weird name.
No, there's no weird names. Just
Okay, yeah, never mind. You voted for the NDP. Okay.
I did it. Okay. Continue reading.
Her name was Harita Lax, but the scientists know her as Hella. She was a poor southern tobacco farmer who worked the same land as her enslaved ancestors. Yet her cells, taken without her knowledge, became one of the most important tools in medicine. The first immortal human cells grown in culture. They are still alive today, though she has been dead for more than 60 years. If you could pile tons of as much as wait, oh, I messed up. All Hella cells ever grown onto a scale, they'd weigh more than 50 million metric tons, as much as 100 Empire State Buildings. Hella cells were vital for developing the polio vaccine, uncovered secrets of cancer, viruses, and the atom bomb's effect, helped lead to important advances like in vitro fertilization, cloning, and gene mapping, and have been bought and sold by the millions. Yet Henrietta Lacks remains virtually unknown, buried in an unmarked grave. Now Rebecca Skloot takes us on an extraordinary adventure from the colored ward of Hopkins Hospital in the 1950s to stark white laboratories with freezers full of HeLa cells from oh geez, from Henrietta's small dying hometown of Clover, Virginia, a land of wooden quarters for enslaved people, faith healings, and voodoo, to East Baltimore today, where her children and grandchildren live and struggle with the legitimacy of her cells. Is this real? Because there's no way this is real, right?
This is real. This is based on a true story. Her cells are still used today.
Wait, her cells?
Yep.
For cells? Wait, I'm confused.
So when I say her cells, it's not the cells that lived on her or in her at the time of her life. She had a specific mutation that allows her cells to replicate forever. I think it's a specific area, specific type of tissue. Her
So
cells.
can you do like a summary? Because I'm still kind of confused.
Okay, so you know how when you're a baby you start off as a clump of cells and then they keep dividing, right?
Yeah.
Um, at a certain there are a few things in your cells, like one of them is called telomeres, which shorten every time your cells uh, duplicate. So we all have natural lifespans. Our cells can't keep replicating forever, right? Um, but there are certain tissues in Henrietta's body that had a mutation that allowed those cells to continuously replicate forever, right?
I'm
Um,
Googling that up.
yeah, do it.
The fact that you said when you start off in life you're just a bunch of cells makes me know that you voted for the NDP.
I mean, what else do I say? Like you are
No,
like
because if you voted for the Conservative Party, you'd say a baby.
no, I mean it's just scientifically incorrect at that point. Like when you're literally made up of like a few cells. That's
Yep, definitely NDP.
no. I'm just saying like from a scientific perspective, right? If you have moral issues with that's a whole other thing, but that's just not what it is, right? Um,
Did
um,
she only live to 31 years old?
yeah. So
Wait, how
not
did she
all.
die?
I don't know how she died. No, now not all her cells. It was if I remember correctly, because I studied her in school. We didn't actually have a lab culture of her cells, but we studied her cells specifically. I don't remember which tissue,
Wait, I
but
have a question. How do
yeah.
you study her cells if she's dead?
So you could replicate cells and grow them, and then even after she died, you can still have those cells, right? Like after you die, your heart, you can still give your heart to someone. Those
Does
cells,
that mean we can duplicate her?
no, but you can duplicate her DNA forever. Yeah,
So I can become her?
no. No, if you have someone's DNA, you can't just become them. But what I love about this book, and I really recommend it, is it talks about the amazing scientific aspect. But I mean, think about it. This person is super, super important, and people make like millions off of her cells today. But her family is poor because of a lot of issues, a lot of injustices that happened to her in her lifetime.
So can I
And
still
after.
become her?
You cannot become her, but technically you could clone her. I mean,
Would she have the same
Okay. I need
personality?
her cells
no,
now.
no, she would not have the same personality, and also cloning does not work how you think it is. All you could do is just make another genetic copy of her as like a baby and then grow up. But I also don't know if you can actually. Sorry, I don't know if that's true. Sorry, tangent. Anyways, let's go back to this. Rebecca Skloot is the author who um, used the story and wrote the book about Henrietta and her family and all of that. So can I get this read? Let's get Derek. Can you read this for us?
Rebecca Skloot. Rebecca Skloot is an award-winning science writer whose work has appeared in the New York Times Magazine, the Opera Magazine, Discover, and many other publications. She specializes in narrative science writing and has explored a wide range of topics, including goldfish surgery, tissue ownership rights, race and medicine, food politics, and packs of wild dogs in Manhattan. She has worked as a correspondent for WNYC's Radiolab and PBS's Nova Science Now. She and her father, Floyd Skloot, are co-editors of the Best American Science Writing 2011.
Awesome. Thanks for reading that, Derek. Um, yeah, so this book kind of like she was already an accomplished writer, but this book was definitely her most successful. Okay, let's go to the quote of the day. So the quote of the day, we're not really analyzing the quote, we're more so analyzing the message here. It's from the book. But I tell you one thing, I don't want to be immortal if it means living forever, because then everybody else just die and get old in front of you while you stay the same, and that's just sad. So, by Rebecca Skloot in her book. So, my question for you all is: do you agree with the stance on immortality? Why or why not? Is she from Texas? No. Well, Rebecca.
With that accent there, it's definite. She has to have some Texan. She kind of looks like Nikki Haley.
She does look like Nikki Haley. Actually, like a lot. Good catch. Um, okay, let's
Yes,
put
100%.
just 100%. You agree with this 100%?
Oh no, I don't agree with this. Like, no, I said no, but like,
Oh,
I don't know what I was thinking. But
okay.
like, yeah, I just say no. I'm not gonna give out any. Yeah.
Okay. I'd switch it to 5 minutes. And right away.
Can you put it in the chat so I can analyze it?
Very sorry. Yeah. Well, okay, yes. The quote is is not really what's being analyzed here. It's more so the message, but I'll.
Oh, so is it just like you don't want to be immortal because everyone's gonna die?
Well, that's what the quote says, and I guess
It's accurate.
yeah.
So like, oh, so it's like, is it like, do you want to live forever, or is it like, do you think it's right to like make people immortal? So
No.
like,
Oh, yes, sorry. On this stance is just about yourself. So yes, do you want to be immortal? Why or why not? Derek, I say immortal as in can't die of old age.
wait, never mind. That changes a lot of things because I can just
Oh,
always just jump in front of a car. Yeah, I'd want
okay.
to be immortal if it's so. It's like by old age, right?
Yeah, okay, fine. By old age, yeah,
But so that means I can just jump in front of a car, right?
sure. Like you stay, does your body change as you get older? Guys, you're asking some important questions that are very interesting that I don't think about. How about your body, once you get to 80, you stay at your body at 80 forever.
I'm done.
Honestly, I think immortality is like stupid.
Yeah, but he said you could always jump in front of a car and kill yourself.
But like it's okay. I don't know. I don't like
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I
Sorry.
feel like immortality is like I don't like it that much.
I don't like it that much.
Because you could get depression from watching people die.
Yes, it will be very sad. But
And then you'll just
someone,
see all your loved ones die, and you'll be like 10 years old and be like, goodbye.
I also heard someone say that it will be very extremely sad, but you'll also get to see your kids and grandkids for longer than anyone.
Oh,
So
yeah. You'll be like, I'm so happy. And then you realize that they're gonna die. So, yeah.
yeah.
And
Uh,
then they won't know why you're still 42. And that'll be their last words.
yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I'm sure they'll come around and understand before that, but yeah. Um, okay, Jeffrey, would you like to start us off?
Um, yes. I would like I would want to be able to live without the stress of dying from old age. I believe this because if life gets boring, I can jump in front of a car. Also, I'd be able to watch the Democrats win Kamala 15 times until she becomes as dumb as Sleepy Joe.
Okay.
Yes, I just did.
Um, because if life gets boring, if anytime there's an if, you almost always need to put a comma. Um, okay. Also, I like your initial sentence. Very clear, very direct. Jaya, would you like to read yours?
I don't want to live immortal because I don't want to be immortal because you aren't living life the way you should. The purpose of life is to live and then die. So if you never die, what's the purpose of living life? It's a very deep question.
It was a very deep question, but what I'd say to you is, I guess, wouldn't you then like just create a new purpose in life, right? Like, maybe, I don't know.
I would just be sad.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think I would be sort of sad as well. Um, Derek,
Because then you have to keep on getting lame Christmas gifts over and over again because you're a kid.
okay, no, well, assume
I'm just
assume
kidding.
assume you get to be like 60 forever, you know?
That's kind of bad because then you're gonna have to live in a retirement house.
Well,
Like
60,
that's 65 and up, right?
Yeah,
In
but just
America.
if you're like an old person.
Oh, also, like, isn't like 65, you don't get retirement benefits, so you're gonna have to work for the rest of your life. You said 80, that's why I said yes,
okay,
but I need
yeah,
my
80,
retirement
80,
Yeah,
benefits.
because
whatever.
80 you can live in a retirement home and play games all the time.
Is there any age where you guys would say yes to being immortal?
Maybe when I'm
Why?
dead.
When you're okay, okay. Derek, would you like to read yours?
I would agree with the. Hold.
Yeah, we can. Oh, you muted yourself now, but I heard you the first time.
Sorry. I would agree with the quote by Rebecca Skloot, as living past old age and seeing others pass away before my own eyes would make me depressed. Even if my body stayed the same way as it was, and I could end it at any moment, I wouldn't have the courage to unalive myself.
I'm alive myself. This is a new thing that I keep seeing everywhere. Um, this is like a. Are you guys Gen Z or Gen Alpha? I don't even know.
We are
I'm
statistically
Gen
Gen Z.
Alpha.
We're actually, sorry, we're statistically Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
Derek says I don't want to say suicide. Okay, is that a bad word to say?
No, suicide isn't a bad word. Why?
Maybe it's like
But you can't because you're immortal, so like you can't like make yourself die.
okay,
No,
yeah.
he said you could. He said you could run in front of a car.
Okay, I didn't know that there were so many technicalities. Oh, Derek says I don't. Okay, that's fine.
But
That's fine.
what if you just ram yourself in front of a car like 50 times?
Um, okay, sorry. You know what? I didn't realize there were so many technicalities to being immortal. I thought this was going to be a very simple general question. I didn't know that I had to specify every aspect. I will do that next time. That is my bad. Um, okay. Vocab of the day. Jaya, can you read these?
Abscond. Verb, to leave hurriedly and secretly, often to escape detection. The thief absconded with the stolen jewels before the police arrived. Bifurcate, verb, to divide into two branches or parts. The river bifurcated into two smaller streams before reaching the ocean. Cachinnate, verb, to laugh loudly or boisterously. I don't know. The audience cachinated at the comedian's outrageous jokes. Desultory, adjective, lacking a clear plan or purpose. Disconnected. The conversation was desultory, jumping from one topic to another without focus. Gloaming, noun, twilight or dusk. They walked along the beach in the soft light of the gloaming.
Awesome. Okay. This word, I missed it. It's cackling.
Can you put the words in the chat?
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
I will now be complaining about the mayor of Los Angeles who was on vacation while her city was on fire.
Was she on vacation?
Yeah, she was on vacation. She was in Ghana. She was in Ghana while everyone was burning on fire.
What did she say when like
She got
Los Angeles was on
confronted and
fire?
she just didn't talk.
She's
Well,
like, oh, Los Angeles is on fire. Well, good thing I'm not there.
did she
Yeah.
go to
So
on
she just
vacation?
didn't talk. Like people have confronted her and she just doesn't talk about it.
Did she go on vacation before the fire or after?
So she went on vacation, right? And then she got the opportunity to come back because of the fire and she just chose to stay in Ghana.
Yeah, well, my city's on fire. Good thing I'm not there.
Yeah.
What is she doing in Ghana? Who goes to Ghana for vacation?
It's like the president's inauguration there.
Oh, weird.
Bro, she has time to make it to the president. She goes to the president's inaugurations while her own like state's on fire. Like, bro, she's so stupid.
Okay, 4 minutes.
I have a question. Can I just create individual sentences instead of making a paragraph? Because I don't know what to write with all these.
Nope. Paragraph. That's the challenge. That's part of the challenge.
But these words are so random.
You are smart.
Also, before that, she lowered the fire department's budget by 17 by like I think $17.4 million.
All right. Time is up. I saw this article. It says the Palisades fire broke out at 10:30 a.m. and she was on a flight within 4 hours back to LA.
Really? Because there's literally videos of her of her out of her like the fire's happening and then people asking her, "Why are you still in Ghana? Huh? Why like literally?" And before that, don't forget, she took $17.4 million out of funding for the fire department.
Yes,
17.4 million.
this
And the fire is
article
predicted to cost $150 million to fix. Billion, sorry, not million,
billion,
billion.
yeah. Well, I did see that. It also says that the total fire budget is like 900 million or something. But I also see that here that it says uh, there's nothing that could have been done regardless. This fire, nothing, no human, no
We,
organization.
we got so desperate that we literally let prisoners help. 1,000 prisoners
Mm-hmm.
helped.
That's
Like
actually that
like
happened
the
a
amount
lot.
of desperation is crazy.
But I've read that there's no organization, no water system in the world that could have fought these fires. That's what
Yeah,
I heard.
yeah, it was bad, and like we ran out of water in the fire hydrants, but like within the second day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, Jeffrey, would you like to read yours?
Karen Bass is horrible and desultory. It should be while, but I think my autocorrect is annoying. While her city was burning down, she chose to say stay in Ghana for vacation. I imagine that she was cachinnating while people asked her why she wasn't helping the people. Where I don't know why there's so much repetition, but when people asked her questions about why she lowered the fire department's budget by 17.4 million, she just absconded. She bifurcated people into two groups: the Democrats that stayed loyal to her, and the people that think she is an idiot. Also, I didn't add gloaming on purpose because last year gloaming was the word that lost me the spelling bee.
Oh wow. That's unfortunate.
I didn't finish my paragraph, so can I like tell the rest with my voice?
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. Karen Bass is horrible while her city was burning down. While her city was burning down, we need to add a comma. Um, she chose to stay in Ghana for vacation. I would choose on vacation is a little bit better. On vacation? They mean slightly different things, but I think on vacation um, is a little bit more commonly used. I imagine that she was cachinnating while people asked her why she wasn't helping the she wasn't helping. I would then specify which people you're referring to here, the citizens of LA. Um, when people asked her questions about why she lowered the fire department's budget, we need to add a comma by 17. Oh, sorry, budget by 17 million. She just absconded. Great use of the words. This bifurcated people into so you actually so the great thing about bifurcated is the bi means two. So you actually don't need to say into two groups. Um this bifurcated people, comma, the Democrats that stay loyal to her and the people that think she's an idiot. But either way, you would have to put a comma here. Okay, awesome. Good stuff, Jeffrey. Jaya, would you like to read
I
yours?
actually made mine informational because I'm reading a book about chasing Lincoln's killer, and I'm just writing about it.
Chasing Who's Killer?
Chasing Lincoln's Killer. It's basically like a nonfiction book about John Wilkes Booth, a famous actor who killed Abraham Lincoln. And
Ooh,
yeah.
nice. Okay. Would you like to read it?
Abraham Lincoln was killed by John Wilkes Booth at Ford Theater during the performance of My American Cousin. John Wilkes Booth, an actor who hated Lincoln, killed him at the gloating while the audience was cackling at a joke and left astounded. And then basically while he was doing that, there's people who were helping him, even though he framed them, but it's fine. So they killed the secretary of something, and then they killed the vice president Johnson, I think.
Oh
So
my
yeah.
God.
I think, or I don't know what happened, but I think they did. And then after that, John Wilkes was like, if you guys don't kill them, I'm gonna frame you. But the truth is, he already framed them, and then they got framed.
So is it proven that Wilkes Booth is the one who organized or killed
Yeah,
them?
he organized the entire thing. He was so what happened? He was like, if you guys don't follow my plan, I'm going to kill you or something like that. And then the truth was he sent a letter to one of his friends who was also an actor about what about what they did, and already sent it to him. So then the next day, I think it was on the newspaper,
Oh wow.
they died, I think.
Wow. That's very cool. Do you know why he did it? Like why he hated him?
I have no idea. He's just stupid. Anyways,
Probably the slave.
Pardon?
Probably mad about the Civil War are
yeah,
his
he was mad because he was part of he was he sided with the Confederates, and then when they lost, he was like, oh dang it, I don't like this. I don't like Abraham Lincoln. He hated Abraham Lincoln because he was part of the Union.
Oh
So
right.
he was he So he was like, we're gonna kill him. So the first plan was that they were gonna wait at a road because he was gonna come and go back to his hotel, and they were gonna kill him. But then the truth was he was already at the hotel. No, he was at John Wilkes Booth Hotel making a speech, and then when they came back, he was gone. So yeah.
I see.
So that was a bad. So they're like, oh my god, we failed for that one. We're gonna do it another time. And then he realized he was going to a play by a messenger, and he was like, we're gonna go there because I want to kill him.
Awesome.
And then there's more. And then they he waited until the audience started clapping since he was an actor, and I think he was familiar with the play. So when they were clapping or laughing, I think he killed him in the head, shot him in the head.
Ooh. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for that, Daria. Okay. Let's scroll down to not my full lesson. Huh, that's not good. Okay. We'll just have to add it as we go. Okay, so I wanted to talk about quotations because I always say I'm going to do it and then we never do it. So, can I get Derek? Can you start us off here?
Direct quotes use the exact words from a source and require quotation marks. Indirect quotes restate or paraphrase those words or ideas and don't require quotation marks. Use quotation marks to indicate a direct quote or passage copied verbatim from another source. If you're using the same word, sentence, or phrase as another author, put those words between quotation marks. This is most common in nonfiction writing when a writer uses a phrase or sentence from a pre-existing source, usually to support their thesis. Examples: Stephen Hawking warned that the Higgs boson could potentially lead to catastrophic vacuum delay in the universe, caused by a bubble of the true vacuum expanding at the speed of light.
Awesome. Okay, so this is just straightforward. I know you guys know how to use quotations like this generally, so I'm going to on to this. Can someone read this one? Jeffrey.
Okay. Aside from quotes in speech, English also uses quotation marks for the title of creative work. Certain types of works, but not all, use quotation marks around their titles so that readers know the work is a reference. Written by Sophia Tulips is a sad poem with a happy title. AP Associated Press style and the Chicago style offer different guidelines for quotation marks for titles. AP style uses quotation marks for creative works like books, movies, songs, TV shows, and other compositions. Chicago style uses quotation marks for titles of shorter works such as poems, articles, and chapters, but uses italics for books and periodical titles. Jesus. Why do I have an Asian accent when I read?
Okay. Yes. You use quotations for titles, which is why in Jaya's passage I put quotations. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Over here. During the performance of My American Cousin. That is a title of a creative work. I put quotations around it. Okay, and where are we? Over here. Yes, and for a lot of things like punctuation, like grammatical rules, okay, not a lot, some things, you'll find that there are actual different standards. So I can't just tell you that you use this for everything because there are situations where some styles work differently and some styles work differently. When you guys get to, college or university, when you're asked to write a paper, usually they'll specify, unless you're in like, unless it's a paper for something that's not more English focused, then they won't specify. And if you ask your professor, he'll just say, "What? I don't care. Do whatever." Which happens. If you're in like STEM, that will happen a lot. Okay. So, this one. Okay, we don't even really need to read it. If you're using quotes to set apart a word for, a joke, skepticism, like when you're saying something and you use air quotes to offset that word to indicate that it means maybe something else, you could also do that in writing, right? So my pet is really just a stray cat that comes by once a day. And imagine I'm doing air quotes when I say pet, right? So you can mimic that through quotations as well. Okay, to discuss words, I see this a lot in a lot of students. They're trying to reference something in a word or a letter, and they don't know that you could use quotations to do this, right? So if you want to say the P in pterodactyl is actually silent, you can actually offset these with quotations. So you don't have to, spell things out and whatnot.
What
Um,
if I say the pterodactyl in P is actually silent?
Wait, say that again.
What if I say the pterodactyl in P is actually silent?
The pterodactyl in P. Why would you say it that way?
I don't know.
I mean, the pterodactyl. I maybe I'm gonna say maybe, like it depends on the context, but generally no, that would make no sense. Um, okay, and then yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen this before. Dwayne the Rock Johnson, right? If you're trying to offset a nickname, you could even use commas for this. But yeah. Okay. Now let's get to slides that I didn't input for whatever reason. I don't know how I missed this. I'm so sorry. Let's just, okay, there we go. Place punctuation marks inside quotation marks. Can we get Derek? Can you read this one?
In American English, punctuation marks are typically placed inside quotation marks, with some exceptions. In British English, punctuation marks are placed outside the quotation marks unless they are part of the original quotation. The following rules and examples focus on American English. Using commas with quotation marks. Place a comma inside the quotation marks at the end of a quoted phrase. Take off your dirty shoes before coming into the house, my father said. Because you want to attach the speaker to their dialogue, use a comma rather than a period to end the quote inside the quotation marks. Take off your dirty shoes before coming into the house, my father said.
Awesome. So yes, unfortunately, American English, like a lot of American things, chose the wrong way to do it. But that's the one I will teach. Um, so yes, commas, punctuation goes inside. Well, not all punctuation, we'll see that later. Go inside the quote. Jeffrey.
What if I wanna be British or Canadian?
Unfortunately, I do not grade in British or Canadian. So, well, I
Hey,
don't
I have
grade.
a question.
Yes.
Can it ever end in a period instead of quotation or no?
Can it ever end in a period inside a quotation?
Yeah.
Like this example right here?
Yeah, like that one.
Yeah.
Wait, so you don't grade work from your own people? You're Canadian. Why don't you grade Canadian
You don't
work?
know where I am, okay?
I know where you are. I have all eyes on you, Mr. NDP.
I have a
Okay.
question. How old are you?
I'm not allowed to say.
What's your favorite color?
Uh, uh, maybe is gray allowed? Am I allowed to say gray?
Yeah, okay, now I'm gonna find you.
You can't find me with my favorite color. Okay. So using periods with quotation marks. Who just read this one? I think that was Derek, right? Okay, so Jaya, can you read this one?
Using periods with quotation marks. Oh, good. Place the period inside the quotation mark when a quotation comes at the end of a sentence. The quotation can be introduced with a traditional phrase followed by a comma, helping separate the spoken words from the rest of the sentence. Before I entered the house, my father said, "Take off your dirty shoes." Using a period elsewhere inside a quotation mark is correct if your quoted material includes multiple sentences. Place a comma inside the quotation mark if using a reported clause after the quote. I just mopped the floor. Take off your dirty shoes before coming into the house, said my father.
Awesome. So this is grammatically correct too, right? Take off your dirty shoes before coming into my house. Um, all right, sorry. This is technically correct, but it would just make like if this was a full, yeah, this is a full sentence. So it's technically correct, but it makes no sense to put this period. You could just cut it off earlier and put a comma. Okay, so let's do. We don't need to do. We'll skip the colons and quotation marks. Semicolons they just work the same way, but okay, fine. Okay, you know what? Let's just do both. Why not?
Can we do a practice?
Yes, in 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Colons. Okay, let me just breeze through this. Colons typically placed outside quotation marks unless they are part of the quoted material. Usually you use it to introduce a quote. When the colon is part of the quoted material, just place it inside just normally, right? Here's what I want you to do. Said my father, or my father said. Okay, semicolons. As with a colon, place a semicolon outside quotation marks, whether it's before or after the quotation. So if you need to offset two sentences, two independent clauses with semicolons, this is an example of punctuation that goes outside. Okay. So if this was a comma, it would go inside. If it's semicolon, it goes outside. Okay, use a semicolon inside quotations when it's part of the quoted material, as you should, obviously. And I have a couple more. Okay. Okay. Jeffrey, can you read this one?
Okay. Do the question. Okay. If the question mark or exclamation mark is at the end of the quote, place it inside the quotation marks. She asked, "Will this be on the test?" We won, shouted the coach to no one in particular. If the question mark or exclamation mark is not part of the quote, but part of a question or statement, place it outside the quotation marks. Did they just say free pizza? Did they just say free pizza?
Awesome. Okay, so this is also an example where it could go either one, outside or inside, depending on how it's being used. Okay. If you're quoting a complete sentence, capitalize the first letter of the word, just like a typical sentence. But if the quote is being used mid-sentence, then it just flows with the regular sentence, right? The letter opened with, "We regret to inform you," blah, 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 has been denied. Period. Then no, we got to capitalize this. And Frank reminded us that whoever is happy, well, this flows. So we don't need to put a capital letter there. And last but not least, okay, actually we can fit this in this slide too. Okay, use the sick indicator for misspelling or grammar errors in a quotation. So use sick within quotations to indicate that any spelling, punctuation, grammatical errors, or unusual phrases are part of the original quoted material. This shows that it is not a mistake in the transcription and distances you from errors in the content. So in his letters, he declared every man, regardless of their station, wrong there, should have the right to vote. So this sick just tells you, hey, as the author, I know this is incorrect, but this is what he wrote. Okay, I'm not going to change what he wrote. So this is
Wait, I have a question. But what if like you suck at spelling and you're just like writing a ton of six, so like they feel like you know how to spell, but you actually don't.
well, if you're aware that you spelled something wrong, then you wouldn't add a sick. So it has to
Oh,
be
but
right.
if you're too lazy to search up how to spell the word.
Yes, then yes, you know what? You could do that. I will give you the pass. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay, so we wanted to do an example. So I'm not too sure. Okay, give me a sentence that, or no, a short paragraph that includes quotations with quotations, two sets of quotations, one with punctuation inside the quotes and one with punctuation outside quotes.
What? Okay.
Okay,
Wait,
very
and all in one paragraph?
yes.
Wait, can I see the wait, so if it's outside the quotes, then I'm confused.
Okay, so let me throw this in the chats first. So there's a couple things inside the quotes, right? When you put a period inside the quote, or there's a comma at the end of a quote. That's punctuation inside. Outside, punctuation outside is when, like here, when the comma is before the quote, you put punctuation outside, or like a colon to indicate there's a quote, right? That's outside. Or another example of punctuation inside, using a colon inside the quote, right? When that's actually what someone said. Um, or a sentence like this, where there's, for an example of outside the quotations, example like this, where the semicolon indicates just two separate sentences, right? So there's, my father said this, semicolon, they weren't even dirty to begin with, right? Oh, I didn't put a timer there. I'm gonna give you guys 3 minutes. All right, all right. The time is up. Let's see what we came up with.
I got too bored, so I'm just quoting Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris? You mean the GOAT politician?
She's just she's Kamala Harris, according to Trump. I don't know why she calls her that, but
I thought you were going to say something. I called Kamala Harris the GOAT politician.
the greatest of all time.
Hmm. That was a
She's
joke.
the, she's the greatest of all time. I never knew that. You see, because I never realized that she didn't let in 10 million illegal immigrants.
Okay. Xiaoya, would you like to read yours?
Okay, I kind of didn't know what to do. When I bumped into Abby in the hallway, this is what our conversation sounded like. Hi, Mira, wasn't that math test so hard? Yeah, see you tomorrow. I didn't know what to write, so.
Okay, this is what our conversation. When I bumped into this order, hi Maria. Hi, oh, hi Myra. Wasn't that so hard? Yeah, see you tomorrow. Okay, so this is a little bit of awkward because now this is like straight dialogue. You're not really just independently quoting. So now when we're doing dialogue, you actually have to do this whole thing like that. But here, one other or there's also cases where you don't do that. But anyways, in this case, since there's nothing in between this, you actually have to offset it with a separate line. Also, you would never just put a period like this. Reason being, this question mark right here just does all the work. We don't need a period here. Okay. Regardless. But yeah, in this case it would work like this. Okay. Jeffrey, would you like to read yours?
Also, I start so like is it true that like you use like the period out of like the quotation mark within this like educational thing
When it's an
in
educational.
academic writing?
Okay. It de
I just saw that online apparently. So
it depends on the style, like the specific writing style that you have to do for your academics. So, if you're doing like if you're following a writing guide from the rest of the world, then it'll probably be outside, but in America, it is inside. So, and I have to teach you American. So, no, come,
why you're Canadian?
I'm not Canadian. You don't know that.
I know that. I know that because I'm just built different.
Okay, read yours.
Okay. Kamala told me, remember the context in which you exist. I still don't understand what it means. Just like when she told me, do you think you just fell out of a coconut tree? She also seems like the person to read the article, Nancy Pelosi's hip surgery.
Okay, awesome. She's
Wait, do you just fall? Oh my god, that's actually so funny. Do you think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Okay, what I will say is, since you said you don't know what this means, I'll just explain. Remember the context in which you exist. I'm assuming, I've never actually seen an interview or anything where she says
So
this.
she said that in a rally. Apparently, it just means remember that you're alive.
Oh,
Something like
I'd assume that it meant something about like remember, where your roots, where you come from, where you are.
also, there's another part, and it's like remember the context in which you exist, as it relates, and it's like remember the context in which you exist, and what came before you. I mean, maybe. Also, do you think you fell out of a coconut tree? Is apparently a quote from her mom.
I think it probably means coconut is like used for um as like a insult almost for people who are brown who sort of act white. quote unquote white. Uh, so maybe she probably told her mom, like, am I a coconut? And her mom said something like this. I'm assuming because coconut.
Apparently, she's like my. She said like my mom used to give us trouble. When we did something crazy, she used to say, "Do you think you just fell out of a coconut tree?"
Got
That's just what she said. Not me, but
okay. Okay, so article of the day. There were actually a few articles that I really wanted to choose all of them, but I had to pick one. So I chose this one. Should grades be based on excellent or effort? A guest essayist writes that too many students today are wrongly expected to be rewarded for their efforts rather than the quality of their work. Do you agree? Derek, can you read this first slide?
What kinds of grades, I mean, yeah, what kinds of grades do you generally get in your classes? Are you satisfied with them? Do you think your marks have been accurate reflections of your learning? What do you think teachers should base student grades on? Effort, ability, class participation, personal growth, work habits, final papers and exams, achievement, comparison to peers, or something else? No, you don't get an A for effort. Adam Grant writes about why he believes grades should be about excellence and why students have come to mistakenly expect to be rewarded for their hard work instead. After 20 years of teaching, I thought I'd heard every argument in the book from students who wanted a better grade. But recently, at the end of a week-long course with a light workload, multiple students had a new complaint. My grade doesn't reflect the effort I put into this course.
Awesome. Thank you for reading that, Derek. I'm really curious to hear all your thoughts on this because you hear a lot of mixed things.
do we
Uh,
reveal our grades?
Pardon?
Do we reveal our grades? It's because it said, "What grades do you have?"
No, you don't have to reveal your grades. Okay, Jeffrey, since your mic is open, would you like to read this one?
Okay. High marks are for excellence, not grit. In the past, students understood that hard work was not sufficient. An A required great work. Yet today, many students expect to be rewarded for the quantity of their effort rather than the quality of their knowledge. In surveys, two-thirds of college students say that trying hard should be a factor in their grades, and a third think that they should at least get a B for showing up at most classes. They're stupid. This isn't Gen Z's fault. It's the result of a misunderstanding about one of the most popular educational theories. More than a generation ago, the psychologist Carol Dweck published groundbreaking experiments that changed how many parents and teachers talk to kids. Praising kids for their abilities undermined their resilience, making them more likely to get discouraged or give up when they encounter setbacks. They developed what came to be known as a fixed mindset. They thought that success depended on innate talent, and they didn't have the right stuff to persist and learn in the face of challenges. Kids needed to believe that skills are malleable, and the best way to nurture this growth mindset was to shift from praising intelligence to praising effort. That's kind of dumb.
My dad does not follow that because if I get a bad grade and I say that I put in all my effort, he just says that I didn't try. No,
Um,
I can't say like I tried in all my effort and I got like a 70 because he's gonna say like you're lying. Get an A.
um, it's very interesting. There's a lot of, I think there's situations where one works more than the other. Um, but what is interesting is, yes, there are studies. Oh, specifically this one, but there's more that came after this on the fixed mindset, growth mindset stuff, and how it is way more effective to tell your kid that they're a hard worker if they get good grades, or they're resilient rather than saying,
Yeah, because that means that they understand the material and they're actually putting in the effort as well.
yes, if you tell your kid they're smart, they think it's more innate or natural, and they're less likely to succeed long term, rather than if you just tell your kid they're a hard worker or they.
What if I just say you're smart? It's okay if you like get like an 80.
I actually think that's going to be detrimental long term. Um,
But maybe like because my parents never say you're a hard worker because they only say that if my grades are good. And if you're not good, they say that I'm dumb.
Well, I mean, yeah, my parents were like that too. But there's evidence that, yeah, it shows that early on if you suggest your kid is like it's or more early education, if you suggest your kid is a hard worker, they'll identify themselves with more of someone who has a growth mindset rather than someone who's just smart and can do it, right? The teacher is Asian.
If your parents treated you like this, then you're an NDP Asian supporter. I'm starting to gather up information as quickly as possible.
Okay, who's next? Jeffrey, could you read this?
Again,
Wait, you just read, oh wait, sorry, no. Jaya, can you read this?
The idea of landing persistence quickly made its way into vital articles, best-selling books, and popular TED Talks. It resonates with the Protestant work ethic and reinforced the American dream that with hard work, anyone can achieve success. But like, what if you're like really dumb and you like don't know anything and like there's no way you're gonna go anywhere?
That's the that's not any everyone has there's a role for everyone.
You're putting in the effort, but you're not going anywhere.
Yes. In that case, you have to probably try something else.
Psychologists have long found that rewarding effort cultivates a strong work ethic and reinforces learning. That's especially important in a world that often favors naturals over strivers. And for students who weren't born into comfort or don't have a record of achievement, and it's far preferable that the other corrective participates in trophy culture, which celebrates kids for just showing up. The problem is that we've taken the practice of celebrating industry industriousness too far. We've gone from commending effort to treating it as an end in itself. We taught generations of kids that their worth is defined primarily on their worth ethic. We fail to remind them that working hard doesn't guarantee doing a good job, let alone being a good person, and that does students a disservice.
Awesome. So yeah, um, we've gone from commending effort to treating it as an end in itself. So this article is arguing that maybe rewarding effort is important, but maybe you can't take that too far because then like
Yeah,
people
because then like maybe the students like I'm so good at everything, even though my grades are failing, but they're just giving me prizes, so I'm so smart or something like that. Like they'll misjudge themselves, basically.
yeah, there is an aspect of that too, right? And
So
that's
maybe good grades are maybe I think excellence is over.
okay, Derek, can you read this last one?
The essay concludes, teachers and parents owe kids a more balanced message. There's a reason we award Olympic medals to the athletes who swim the fastest, not the ones who train the hardest. What counts is not sheer effort, but the progress and performance that results. Motivation is only one of multiple variables uh, in the achievement equation. Ability, opportunity, and luck count too. Yes, you can get better at anything, but you can't be great at everything. The ideal response to a disappointing grade is not to complain that your diligence wasn't rewarded. It's to ask how you could have gotten a better return on your investment. Trying harder isn't always the answer. Sometimes it's working smarter, and other times it's working on something else altogether. Every teacher should be rooting for students to succeed. In my class, students are assessed on the quality of their written essays, class participation, group presentations, and final papers or exams. I make it clear that my goal is to give as many A's as possible. but they're not granted for effort itself. They're earned through mastery of the material. The true measure of learning is not the time and energy put. Wait, hold up. It is not the time and energy you put in. It's the knowledge and skills you take out.
Awesome. Awesome. So there's a lot of good stuff here, a lot of good information and opinions. Um, so let's start with just some questions generally. Verbally or in a couple sentences, tell me, does your school have a consistent grading policy or does each teacher use their own system? Are the grading criteria clear and transparent to all students, or does it sometimes feel like grading is random?
So in my school, we have like whenever we do like a test or assessments that are supposed to see how good you are, but in reality they're just tests, but they just say that to make you less nervous. Um, so they basically just do like out of like how many points there are, and they just be like, okay, you got like a 35 out of 36, or you got like a 36 out of 36, or something like that.
Okay.
Because
It-
like I feel like they have like a faction, and then it's like this. Wait.
I don't know what you're doing. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like that, basically.
Ah, okay.
That's it.
Um, all right, let's move on then. Does anyone else have anything else to add? Okay, let's move on to the question. So, what do you think students' grades should be based on? How much, if at all, should effort and hard work factor in? So, I'm going to give you guys a chunk of time for this. 7 minutes. Yep, 7 minutes. I think that's good. We'll have some discussion, whatever. Starting the timer for this now. And please, this one I want it to be formal, okay? So no, I don't want you to get away with any grammar mistakes or anything like that. Formal writing. All right, all right, all right. Time is up. Let's see what we came up with.
I got done, but I didn't add any good transition words because I was like looking for some. I was trying to add them in, but I didn't get enough time, and I already turned it in. So
That's
it's just
fine.
gonna sound very choppy.
That is fine. All right, Jaya, would you like to start us off?
I think that it should be graded on excellence, not effort. This is because if you grade on effort, you might not get anywhere because it's kind of weird because you might put in the effort but still be failing the course. But if you're getting good grades, you're putting in the effort while maintaining a good score, which will lead to success in your academic career.
Awesome. So no comma needed here because this is not an independent clause, but if you are getting good grades, remember, if you start with but, you need to put a comma there. You are getting good grades. You are putting in the effort while maintaining a good score, which will lead to, okay, so never want to start a sentence with which will lead to success in your career. We need to connect this, comma, which, we'll just get rid of all of this. Lead to success in your academic career. Awesome. This is because if you are graded on effort, you might get any because you are graded on effort because if you're graded on effort, you might. So I would restructure this and say if you're graded on effort, you can you might you might still fail the course, which isn't getting you anywhere or which wouldn't be getting you anywhere, right? Just because it's just if you're graded on effort, then you might put in the effort, or sorry, then you might not get anywhere, and then you explain it as you put in the effort, but then you're failing the course. Whereas this could definitely be more concise, more clear. But if you're getting good grades, you are putting in the effort while maintaining a good score. So I would say you need to clarify that you mean good grades while putting in effort. And the reason I say that is they're oftentimes in school. Well, for one, this sentence implies that they're mutually exclusive things, putting in effort and getting good grades. Implies that they're mutually exclusive. I know you mean that you need, in order to get good grades, you need to put in effort, but I would make that clear here. So you're putting in effort and getting good grades, right? Or specify that it's not possible to get good grades without putting in effort. But I would also argue that there are a lot of people. I was in gifted programs growing up until
Same, same.
until high school. A lot, even in high school. A lot of those people are the ones who struggle in university because uh, school is generally easier for a lot of those people, right? And like you could get by. Like a lot of people get by in elementary and high school without putting in that much effort and work. And then once you're in university, now there's a whole other level of skilled people and smart people. And you need to work a lot harder, and a lot of people are not able to work hard at that point. So I would say you could still get a good score without putting in that much effort. So I would say that there's a little bit exclusive. But yeah, but other than that, yes. Academic career, I would even add more than your academic career in your life, right? Learning to put in effort, put your head down, put in the work is important in everything. Okay, Jeffrey, would you like to read yours?
I Googled a lot of this stuff because I
What?
needed good arguments.
Okay.
Okay. Students' grades should be based off of excellence, not effort. I believe this because in most careers in real life situations, performance is prioritized over effort. So grading by excellent can help prepare students prepare students on the real life for it should be for the real world. Excellent is also more measurable than effort. It is often hard to tell how much effort a student is putting in. For example, if there's an essay, a kid that is a good writer can spend half the time as a bad writer, and teachers will say that the great writer put in more effort. It also ensures that that grades reflect a student's true understanding of the material, which can help teachers identify which kids needs help. Finally, this also promotes equal treatment because some kids might have worse home situations than other students. This can hinder the amount of effort they can put in their work. I did not get done.
Awesome. Awesome. Finally, this can hinder. Okay, so it's based off excellence, not effort. I believe this because the most critical in a situation. If
I told you this is going to be super choppy.
no, if oh sorry, I believe because in most careers in real life situations, performance is prioritized. Okay. In most. So this is a um is a I'm blanking on the word right now, but this basically indicates the situation. Um it's like a context to the main clause here. So grading by excellence can help prepare students for the real world. Excellence is also more measurable than effort because it is often hard to tell how much effort. That is true. For example, comma, if there is an essay, comma, if a kid that is a good writer can spend half the time as a bad writer, and teachers will say that the great writer put in more effort. It also ensures that grades reflect a student's true understanding of the material, which can help teachers identify which kids need help. Teachers. Finally, this also promote what is this capital X? This also promotes equal treatment because some kids might have worse home situations than others students. This can hinder the amount of effort they can put in their work. Awesome. Very good. These are some great points. Great stuff, Jeffrey. Great stuff, everyone. Yeah, I would definitely argue that grading should include some sort of combination of both. I think that uh, I believe in testing, like especially for like math and a lot of science courses. I believe testing should be worth a big chunk, maybe they're 40-50% of your grade, and then the other ones should be more of those effort-based things, right? Projects and experiential learning and things like that. I think for me, most courses should be a combination of those types of things. For English, I think it should actually be more experiential, more sort of effort-based work, right? Here's an essay, here's a week to do it. You can put in more effort or less effort, and usually effort shows um, in writing a bit more. Yeah. Okay, that's it for today. I will see you all next
What's
week.
the homework?
You want the homework? All right. What recommendations would you give to your school to improve its grading system? What do you think your teachers need to understand about expectations, motivations, and learning of teenagers today? Explain. Okay, that is it for today, guys. I will see you all next week. Have a good
Thank you.
goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.